and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. And welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live around the world on Facebook, on Twitch.tv, on Mixer and on YouTube. While we're getting everything set up, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Runs and Rides YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/FilmMyRun, on Twitter at FilmMyRun, and you can also go to the website, which is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax and watch me do all the hard work. Good morning, everybody. Morning, Ward. Hope everybody's well. Morning here in the UK, and wherever you are in the world, hello to you. So we are doing, well, I'm doing two things today. I am completing Tour de Zwift. So this is my last catch-up on Tour de Zwift. Stage 5. Once I've done this stage, I will have finished Tour de Zwift. However, right in the middle of this, I'm going to do 4 kilometers of climbing. I fully expect to come dead last in the race. There are only 7 of us running, but when we get to, let's say when we get to 4 kilometers, 3 or 4 kilometers in, I'm whacking the elevation right up, and we're going to do 4 kilometres of climbing. Hello Matthew, and hello Ward, hello Vidar. Good morning to you guys. Matt did circuit training last night, well done. So we're running through New York today. And I'm going nice and slow. I've got the elevation on 2% to start with. So just to get a little bit of climbing going, minimal climbing whilst we're running this first section. And then when we've got to about 4 kilometres, I'm going to whack the elevation up. I'm going to slow it right down. We're not going fast now, but you know, we're going to slow it really slow. Angie Magic, hello. Good morning to you. So this will be my only run on Zwift today. I'm away tonight, so I won't be on Zwift tonight. Ange is running, I think. Are you the same person, Ange? David Adams says, why always Zwift? Well, it's not always Zwift. But it is quite a lot of Zwift, I'll have to admit to you. But I am a Zwift ambassador, so I am on Zwift quite a lot because Zwift have asked me to be. But I do perfectly decent amounts of running outdoors as well. It's not always Zwift. Currently training for Trans Gran Canaria, 128 kilometres across Gran Canaria with 7,500 metres of ascent. So that's first week of March. So we are training on Zwift and outdoors for that event. I was outdoors on Tuesday, David. I'm running outdoors tonight, and I shall be running outdoors at the weekend. You just see me more on Zwift because it's broadcast. I don't broadcast my outdoor runs. Matt says, can't wait till you come to Liverpool. Yeah, I will definitely be doing the rock and roll or something in Liverpool at some point. But when I am in Liverpool, you'll find me doing Crosby Park Run, or you'll just find me running along the path at Formby, or down at Crosby on the seafront there, past the Iron Men. And through the Rimrose Valley Country Park as well. So if you know those, that's where I run when I go to Liverpool. So nice steady run to start the morning. 4 kilometres of easy paced running, and then we bump it up to 12% elevation on the treadmill, pace right down to almost walking pace, and we do 4 kilometres of climbing, and then we'll go back to the flat for the last kilometre or so. Thank you, Ward. Wow, Matt, you're busy, buddy. So heart rate is nice and easy at the moment. And we'll just keep it that way for the time being. My watch, you know, sometimes your watch gives you advice on how you're running. And today my watch says I am overreaching. It says I'm doing too much. And I need to chill out and relax a bit. So maybe that's what this first 4 kilometers should be. Relaxed and easy. Yeah, 15 is quite a long way, Matt. Andrew Cutmore, good morning. Yeah, ride-ons aren't working again for some reason. Sorry about that. I haven't posted your heart rate strap. I might have to wait. What day is it today? Thursday. I'll see if I can remember to do it tomorrow. I won't be able to do it today, but I'll try and remember to post it tomorrow, Andrew. Yeah, Ward, I think we've discovered that. So,
right on!
Thank you to everyone who's given me ride-ons so far. They aren't popping through on my screen. Just got to keep it nice and easy, nice and relaxed. The New York course is stage 5. It's a little bit dull, this course, it has to be said, because they don't go on the sky route at all. Tour of New York is just it's just round the park perimeter, and that's not the most entertaining of courses, really. But we'll get it done. Matthew, I'll definitely try and get up to do the Speak Hall 10k at some point, yes. I have been to Speak Hall, but not to run. It's just a case of whenever I'm up there next, Matthew. So I'll stay at this pace for the next 600 metres, and then when we get to 2 kilometres I'll bump it up to 10 kilometres an hour just to go a little bit quicker. So you can see I'm currently at 2% elevation, running at 9 kilometers per hour. Very, very easy, just taking it slowly. We are going to do, when we get to 4 kilometers, we're going to bump up the elevation. And when we do bump up the elevation, it will not take long for Campbell and Tricene from Germany and Ang to catch up, because they're not far behind really. So I will be finishing dead last in this run. Vidar says, what happened to Wednesday Workout HQ edition yesterday? I thought we'd be running on the track. Well, we were supposed to be running on the track. Little bug in the system, I think. But at least Mike McCarthy was there to see it. Yeah, we were all spawned in different places, so half of us were spawned onto the road, onto the beach path, and half of us were spawned onto the track. So myself and Mike McCarthy, we were on the beach path. Tim Groves and quite a few others were spawned onto the track. But the good thing was that everyone could see Mike's messages. I think everyone could see Mike's messages. Ward says, don't you ever drink while running? Never seen you have water or whatever. Not on Zwift, not really. Very, very rarely do I run for much more than an hour on Zwift. And there's no need to have anything to drink unless you're doing a really, really hard interval session or something. You might want to have a swig of water. I did have a cup of tea yesterday. Did you not see me having a cup of tea yesterday? Yeah, I really don't think there's any need. If you've hydrated yourself well beforehand and you hydrate yourself well afterwards, there's no need to drink during that hour of running. But that said, I have done plenty of runs on Zwift which have been more than an hour, and like the half marathons that we've done on Zwift, and I'll definitely have a drink then. It's just not worth it. For an hour's worth of running, you don't need it. I must admit though, yesterday afternoon, when we were doing the Wednesday workout, I clearly hadn't had enough to eat during the day, and I did suffer a little bit of a lack of glycogen, a little bit of a lack of sugar and energy in my legs in the first half of that run. But once I got into it and kind of got over the mental thing, and perhaps my body switched over to fat burning a little bit more, I was absolutely fine. It's perfectly possible to finish a run mildly dehydrated with no loss in performance. Severely dehydrated, yes, that's bad. But most runners will finish a medium to long run at least mildly dehydrated. And that's fine as long as you hydrate yourself well afterwards. I'm a real subscriber to the idea that you drink when you're thirsty, and so I'm not a fan of advice which tells you to drink 500 mils per hour, whatever, you know. I'm not a fan of that, really. Yeah, just Matt says we should speed up all the songs, all the backing tracks, so they're all 170 BPM. It should be 180 BPM. That's the sweet spot. I think they'd all sound a bit weird if we pumped them right up to 170, 180 BPM.
Jack it up.
So when we get to 3 kilometers, I'll put the speed up again to 11 kilometers an hour. Heart rate is still nice and easy. Still in zone 2, 135 BPM. So we are very comfortable at the moment. So Tim Gross says most people were on the track. Okay. I thought it was about half and half, but actually I didn't check, so maybe you're right. Most people were on the track then, so only a few people got spawned onto the road. So, stage 5 of the tour of Zwift. This is New York. This is my last stage. But we're not racing it. We're going to stick in the middle of this. We're going to stick in 4 kilometers of climbing. So I do expect to come dead last in the run. So when it gets to 4 kilometers, I'm going to bump up the elevation to 12%. And we're going to do 4 kilometers of climbing nice and slowly. And seeing as my watch is telling me I'm overtraining, maybe doing it nice and slowly is a good idea.
Jack it up.
Vidar says he was trying to read the text from Mike McCarthy last night on his phone. That must have been quite difficult. It really is. If you can get a big TV screen in front of you, it really does make Zwift so much more immersive, so much more entertaining. I absolutely loved that big screen that we had at the National Running Show. That was enormous, wasn't it? Right, so 1 more kilometre until we slow it down and increase the elevations. Let's just increase the pace to 11 kilometers an hour. There's only 7 of us in this run, and Dearden from Holland, from the Netherlands, he's getting on for 3 minutes ahead now, and A. Hall from the UK looks like he's racing with him, so he's 2:47 ahead, and De La Roche from France is 2 minutes 9 seconds ahead of me, and then we've got Trezen from Germany, Campbell from the UK, and Ang, and they're respectively 35, 41 and 2 minutes 16 seconds behind, but they will catch up as soon as I drop the pace. Yeah, you can quite often. Matthew's talking about running a half marathon and he only had 1 gel and part of a glass of water for the whole run. Yeah, I mean, it does depend on the weather as well. If it's really hot, then you will take on more water. But I could quite imagine that you could run an entire half marathon in, 1.5 hours, 1 hour 45, and not really have very much at all to drink or eat. When we get to 4K, I'm just going to jump off the treadmill and turn the lights on. It seems very dark in here. I've got the studio lights on my face, but the main the main lights in the shed quarters are not on, so I think I need to put them on really. Morning Ruth Goddard and morning Jason King. Ruth, thank you very much. I am very, very bad at doing that, crossing my arms. I constantly need to be reminded, yes, you're so right. And I would absolutely tell everybody else, arms moving forward and not across yourself like that. Mind you, going this slow, it doesn't really worry me too much at this pace. If I was racing or doing a really hard workout, then I would try and think about my form a little bit more. But at this pace, not racing, just taking it easy, I'm not overly worried about my form. Shouldn't say that really, should I? You should always be worried about your form. You should always be concerned about how well you're running. Andy Stone says, thank you for your inspirational videos. Oh, cheers, buddy. Thank you. Says, your advice has been invaluable in building my trail running, especially the advice surrounding real food fueling. I did a 20-miler on real food for the first time and suffered no sugar spikes. Well, that's the deal, Andy. The fewer gels and fast-acting sugar that you can take, the better. You will need some, but the more you can train your body to metabolize your fat or deal with slow release carbs like porridge and bread and those kind of things, potatoes. Not that you should eat them necessarily during the run, but if you've got that slow release fuel inside you, then you will need fewer sugary gels and drinks that will, like you say, spike your sugar and give you that drop afterwards that makes you feel terrible. So now that I've had a telling off from Ruth, I am trying to think about my arms. But I'm going to slow down in a second. So in a minute it gets to 4 kilometres. We're going to slow it right down, almost to walking pace really. Well, I will walk it out for a few hundred metres, and then we'll climb 4 kilometres at a very slow pace. So there we are, let's go up and let's come down. Right, so we're down at 5 kilometres per hour. Ruth says she's going to come back and keep checking on me. Oh no, I'm in trouble now, aren't I? Right, let me put the fan on as well actually, because it's a bit warm in here. Okay, so now we're at 12% elevation. So this is going to give me 120 metres of climb for every kilometre, which means after 4 kilometres we'll have 480 metres of climb, and then the first 4 kilometres of running I was at 2% elevation, so that should give me the extra to get up to 500 metres of climb. Today, Ruth says she's always loved my videos. Thank you, Ruth, it's very kind of you. I'm off to do another one this afternoon. I'm going to go to Bristol to do an interview. So hopefully I'll have that up on the channel, on the Film My Run channel, in the next couple of days. Going for a little run through Bristol, so that'd be nice. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You might not know who it is anyway. Not really well known in the kind of 10k running arena. Right, we're just walking this through. I'm going to walk 300 metres, let's say. Oh, cheers, Matthew. I think it's good to get different advice from different people, kind of amalgamate that advice. You know, you are always going to take the bits that you like and use those bits, aren't you? You know, I form my opinions from taking advice from lots of other people and working out which one I think is the best advice, and also there's no substitute for experience and trying things out. So the number of times I've tried a different nutrition regime or a different drink, and it's either worked or it hasn't worked. So for example, things like Tailwind and Mountain Fuel, those powdered drinks that you get, I find them horrible, certainly after a few, 20 or 30 miles in an ultra, make me feel terribly sick. But something like Huel, which is another powdered meal in a drink which I mix with full fat milk, works really well for me. Doesn't make me feel sick, gives me all the fuel I need for long runs. Not all the fuel, most of the fuel I need. Andy Stone says, on the point of form, I have recently tried to drop my arms down by my side more and almost let them hang loose. I completely alleviated shoulder trapping and tightness after runs doing this. Yeah, one of my poor things that I do is hunch up my shoulders, and I have in the past got awful neck pain and shoulder pain. That's that tightness you get from kind of being too tense in the upper body. You've just got to relax your shoulders. I mean, quite often you can run and just kind of let your arms hang for a bit just to loosen them out. But I do tend to try and run with a kind of 90-degree angle of arm movement and arms trying to move forward. When you're going really, really slowly, especially in, long distance ultra races, you do find your arms kind of settling by your side a little bit more. But if you're running fast, 10k, 5k, definitely arms pointing forward, 90-degree angle, but just relaxed, really relaxed shoulders. Right. I suppose we better start jogging, hadn't we? So let's go up to 5.5 kilometers per hour and start running, and we're doing 4 kilometers of elevation now. And we are going to finish last in this race. So we'll carry on this pace, this really slow pace, until we get to 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers, we'll bump it up to 6 kilometers per hour. It feels, since we've just been doing 11 kilometers an hour, this seems really, really slow. But oh look, my arms are crossing again. I'm going to allow my natural running form to just let me run this bit, and then we'll think about it a bit more in a minute. Really, quite often in races, I do get people saying to me, in the real world when I'm running, drop your shoulders, relax your shoulders, because I'm always like this, I'm always tense and shoulders hunched up. So often when I'm giving advice to other people on Zwift or whatever, I'm also talking to myself. I'm just as bad as everybody else. It looks like Ang is walking at the moment. Nice relaxing music for a nice relaxing little bit of running. We're still in zone 2. Did go up to zone 3, look, so 7 minutes there in zone 3. And I imagine that was during that last kilometre when we were going at 11 kilometres an hour, just raised the heart rate a little bit, but dropped it back down now, and just going to take it easy for the next 400 metres before pushing the pace just a little bit more. So Matthew says he's going out for 4 miles, cheeky 4 miles before his club session tonight. I haven't got that motivation, Matthew. If I've got a run club session tonight, I'll just go and do that run club session. Very, very occasionally will I run to the run club session, but not often. It's so easy to get set up for Zwift running. All you need are a few things. Firstly, access to a treadmill. Either at home or at the gym, it doesn't matter what kind of treadmill you use, any treadmill will work with Zwift. Next, you need a foot pod, preferably a Bluetooth foot pod, and the most popular ones to use at the moment are the Zwift Pod or the Stride. Then simply download the Zwift app onto any of these devices. So, a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android phone, Zwift even works on Apple TV. Pair your footpod in the app, possibly add a heart rate monitor if you like, and that's it. You're all set up for Zwift running. So this is the park perimeter route around New York, so this is what they've chosen for stage 5 of Tour de Zwift. It's not the most inspiring route, it has to be said. Just basically a road and trees for the whole route. So it's not amazing, but we'll get it done. And once I've done stage 5, that's my last catch-up. So I will be finished, and hopefully I'll get a nice little badge at the end, and I'll get to keep that t-shirt. Matt, thank you very much. Take care. See you soon. Bye, Matt. Thanks for joining. So Matt's off. If you've got any questions, do drop them in the Facebook chat or the YouTube chat. I am watching both. Matt's got lots of housework to do, so he needs to get on with it. I've got lots of housework to do as well, but I just get told off by my wife at the end of the day. But luckily I won't be here when she gets home from work today, so I'm off the hook. I may get an angry text. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed already to Zwift Live, go and do that. All these runs, races, workouts, challenges, all broadcast live. Sometimes I don't focus on myself, sometimes I focus on other runners. Sometimes my wife runs. So there's plenty of different things going on the Zwift Live channel, but they are all live broadcasts. So we're coming up to 5 kilometres run in total. We've done 1 kilometre nearly of climbing, another 3 to go. So it's going to be nice and slow. Ang is now running again, so Ang is catching me up. So here's the bouncing 5 kilometre marker. So we increased the pace to 6 kilometres per hour. You notice it's a timing bug there, by the way. So I went under the 5 kilometre marker before the blue distance marker at the top there changed to 5 kilometres. So we're about 20 metres out. So that's a little bug in the system. Ward says, is this my real daytime job? It's one of my daytime jobs, yes. So I'm contracted by Zwift to run on Zwift regularly, but I'm also a writer for Zwift, so I do write blog articles for Zwift. But I'm also I've got lots of jobs. I'm a wedding photographer, and I also do live streaming of real world events. So you may see on my Film My Run channel, I was recently in Cornwall on the south coast of the UK, down at the southwest coast, and I was live streaming an event down there called the Arc of Attrition, which is a 100-mile race, and that was a paid job. So I do that as well. I make a little bit of money from my running films over on the Film My Run channel as well. So lots of things like that, mostly related to running, apart from the wedding photography stuff that I stick in somewhere along the line. Yeah, I'm very lucky that I can earn some money from running. Yeah. But you've just got to, it's taken me a long time to find a job satisfaction in what I do. Some people never find it. Some people find it when they're very, very young and they're very lucky. And some people change constantly. So still relatively comfortable, but you can see my heart rate is 143 BPM, so we're definitely working a bit harder than I was earlier. We're over halfway in the run. I am slowly being caught by Ang, who is the last person in the run. Deerderen from Holland, from the Netherlands, is 12, nearly 13 minutes ahead. And he's ahead of A. Hall from the UK. A. Hall is about 12 and a half minutes ahead of me. And he looks like he's trying to catch Deerderen, but they are having a ding-dong battle. It doesn't look like he's going to catch him though. And De La Roche from France is 9 minutes ahead. Tressine from Germany is 4, nearly 5 minutes ahead. C. Campbell is 3.5 minutes ahead. So this climbing is definitely making me the slowest runner on the course today. Ward, enjoy. Ward's going out running later on today. So 500 metres left at this pace. That'll be 2 kilometres of climbing done, and then we'll go up to 6.5 kilometres per hour. Avatar will still be walking though. This route would be much more entertaining if we were up on the sky roads. I don't really know why they chose the park perimeter route, really. So I guess we'll be running for another 42 minutes once we speed up a bit, and then we've got the last kilometre on the flat. Or last kilometre and a bit on the flat. So Ward says he might do the 5 kilometre group run. Jump on it, Ward, go for it. 4 kilometres remaining of Tour de Zwift Stage 5. 4 kilometres remaining of Tour de Zwift as a whole for me. This is my last session of Tour de Zwift. I've done all the others. So Stage 5 was my final catch-up. So 4 kilometres left. I was going to turn the studio lights on, wasn't I? Oh, well, we won't worry now. We won't bother now. Leave it. You'll notice again the distance and kilometre splits bug. When we get to 6 kilometres, you'll see my XP points pop up, but they should pop up at about 5.97, 5.98, because the kilometre splits on the left-hand side are slightly ahead of the blue kilometre units at the top there. So just keep your eyes open for that in about 150 metres. Very disconcerting seeing your runner walk, isn't it? So Ang is only 35 seconds behind me now. When we get to 6, I think I'll just nip forward and have a look at Deirdre and Hall, see how they're getting on. They must be close to the finish now. Must be right there, in fact, really. We disappear off the end of the screen in a minute. Right, just keep your eyes open. So XP points. There's the 6 kilometre marker. 98, there's the XP points. So 20 metres too soon. Or 20 metres, or maybe the blue units are 20 metres too late. Who knows, but that's the bug we've got going on at the moment. Right, up to 6.5. But let's just jump up to the front of the race. So this is Deirdre, who's running at 13 kilometres an hour and is nearly finished. 9.4 kilometres done. He's got 300 metres to go. He is going to win. Let's give him a ride on. And nice, comfortable heart rate as well. I can't believe that's his heart rate. Unless Deirdre is a more accomplished runner than this and could have gone a lot faster, but has just gone for the win. A Hall is trying desperately to catch up, 15 seconds behind, but by the look of that heart rate, Deirdre could quite easily pump it up a bit faster if he needed to. A Hall is catching, but he's not going to do it in time. He's got just 200 metres to catch him. It's not going to happen. Definitely looks like Deirdre is coasting, going very comfortably. There's the finish line up ahead. So well done to Deirdre. Ward says he loves my running avatar's shoes. Yeah, they are the New Balance shoes. So Deirdre coming up to the finish line. And well done to him. So A Hall. Oh, it's a lady runner. Well done to A Hall, first lady. No heart rate, but she's done really well as well. So second place to her. Good job, good running. Campbell is second lady. She's got 2.5 kilometres left to go. And then we've also got Trisen. His heart rate is 150 BPM and he's got dead on 2 kilometres left to run. And there's Ang. Give Ang a ride on. Actually, we should give them all a ride on, shouldn't we, really? De La Roche from France, well done. Trisen from Germany. And Campbell from the UK, well done to you guys. Good running. If you're not signed up to Zwift Power, Zwift Power is a useful tool. Helps you with the race results, weeds out those people who look like they have altered their weight or their height or various other things to game the system. But you do need to sign up at the zwiftpower.com website, but also you need to give permission in your Zwift settings. So you need to go to your Zwift dashboard and go to connections and then allow Zwift Power to have access to your data. But it's a really useful tool. So Ang has slowed down again to a walk. So Ang looks like Ang's doing a run walk. So it may be after all that I don't finish last, because I've only got 1.5 kilometres of hills left. So Ang's going to have to do some work to catch me. About half an hour left of running. Okay, so Ang is off again. Ang is off and running and catching. So we'll see how far. Is it a woman then? We'll see how far Ang gets. How close she gets to me. Oh yeah, it was, wasn't it? Double check. No, it's a man. Okay, so Ang is off and running. Gonna catch me. Or going to attempt to catch me. Three kilometres of Tour de Zwift Stage 5 left to do. Heart rate is still comfortably in zone 3, so that's nice. Not working overly hard. Definitely looks like a man ward. The avatar is definitely a bloke. ...200 metres, and then I will increase the pace, and we will finally see our runner get running. Still at 12% elevation, so we want 500 metres of climbing by the end of this run, and you'll be able to see that on my Strava after the run. Is just a minute behind now. 1 minute behind. But I think even if they catch me up, even if Ang catches me up in the next kilometre and passes me, it's probably likely that I'll be able to catch them in the last kilometre and a half of flat running. Right, here's 7 kilometres coming up. Bloke, yeah, real English word that, isn't it? A bloke. There we go. Okay, 10 XP points. 7 kilometres done. And up we go to 7 kilometres per hour for the final kilometre of climbing. My runner is now running. Yeah, good old Rick Mail, eh? Rest in peace. Right, last kilometre. Maybe we'll see heart rate going to zone 4 for this kilometre. Ang is 43 seconds behind. Trizen is nearly 10 minutes ahead. Campbell is nearly 8 minutes ahead. And they should be finishing any second now. Campbell's on 9.1 kilometres, so he's got 600 metres to go. And Campbell 8.7, she's got 1 kilometre left. And I have 800 metres of climbing left to do. And then we can run the rest on flat. Gosh, it's dark outside now. It's been really hard rain this morning. It's so easy to get set up for Zwift running. All you need are a few things. Firstly, access to a treadmill. Either at home or at the gym, it doesn't matter what kind of treadmill you use, any treadmill will work with Zwift. Next, you need a foot pod, preferably a Bluetooth foot pod, and the most popular ones to use at the moment are the Zwift Pod or the Stride. Then simply download the Zwift app onto any of these devices. So, a Mac, a PC, an iPhone, an iPad, an Android phone, Zwift even works on Apple TV. Pair your foot pod in the app, possibly add a heart rate monitor if you like, and that's it. You're all set up for Zwift running. I know a lot of you have been giving me ride-ons. For some reason, a little bug in the system again. Ride-ons are not showing for me today, so thank you everyone who's given me a ride-on.
Ride on!
And don't forget to subscribe to the Zwift Live channel on YouTube. "600 metres left of climbing. We're at 12% on the treadmill, 12% elevation. So we should get 500 metres of climbing in by the end of the run. "20 minutes left to run. Actually, it's not going to be 20 metres, is it? 20 minutes. So there's an hour gone. 2.2 kilometres left. Starting to feel it, definitely feeling it now. But still in zone 3 heart rate. So that's good. I still feel able to say one or two things. Gosh, look at how dark it is outside. Wow. I should have had the lights on, shouldn't I, really? "2k left. We just have to stay as relaxed as possible, really." Ang is back again. He's obviously had another walking break. So I'm not going to finish last. How about that? Ward is 12% elevation incline. Do you mean how much incline have I done by now? It's probably about 450 metres, maybe a bit more now. 470 metres climbed. Nearly there, 200 metres of climbing to go, and then we'll drop it down and run flat for the last bit. Yeah, I keep it at 12% all the time on these runs, Ward. That's the highest my treadmill will go. Definitely feeling it now. Definitely tired, Jonathan, yeah. It's now absolutely tipping it down with rain outside. Really dark and pouring with rain outside. We're coming to the end of the climb. Let's just get to 8 kilometres in the blue units up there. Oh, okay. There we go. Drop it right down to 0% elevation. Oh dear. Right. So that's 500 metres of climbing done. 1.7 kilometres left. And we are flat now. Feels like running downhill. Oh, that is so good. So just over 1.5k to run in the last little bit of Tour de Zwift Stage 5. Last stage of Tour de Zwift for me. Hopefully I'll get a little badge at the end, mission completed, or whatever it is. Aaron, thank you very much. Very kind of you. Wow, it's so, I can't believe how dark it is. So once done, I'm going to have a shower, get in the car and drive off to Bristol, where I've got a little interview to do tonight. And so I won't be on Zwift this evening, but I will be running around the streets of Bristol later on this evening. Yeah, okay, we'll do a group run on flat irons, Jonathan, that's a good idea. Ward, thank you for sticking with me. Thanks for all the comments and the motivation. Thank you very much. Cheers, Ward, take care. And heart rate back down to 136 now. Nice and comfortable. I think you can meet up anywhere, Jonathan. I think you can. Well, have a look in the companion app. Go as though you're going to do a meet-up and see what comes up as the options. So 0% elevation now. We've done with the climbing. 4 kilometers of climbing at 12%. So that's done. And there's 1 kilometer left of Tour de Zwift Stage 5, New York. I might round it up to 10 kilometers. I am conducting an interview, Jonathan. If I ever have to attend a job interview again as a prospective employee, I think my life plan has gone awry somewhere. So Biang is doing a very controlled run-walk session, and good for him, good job. So there's the 9 kilometers again. We're now 40 meters out, maybe just 30 meters out. So here's 9 kilometers at the top. Let's go to 11 kilometers now for the last 700 meters. Leo Loughran, good morning, buddy. Hope you're well. I'm nearly done, Leo. Where have you been? Time to call this to be turning up at the run. I've done 500 metres of climbing, right slap bang in the middle of the Tour de Zwift Stage 5, and now I'm just running it out flat for the last 600 metres. Oh, okay, so Jonathan has checked. And if you want to create a meetup, you are limited to either Watopia or whatever the guest world is at that day. So 400 meters to go, and we'll see the achievement badge come up hopefully, which will be nice. There's 9.5. 30 metres out. And we'll see the finish line in a sec. See on the map there, you can see the finish line just around the corner. There it is, coming into view now. And this time the finish line is just before the big banner. Sometimes it's a bit after the big banner. There it is. And Tour de Zwift is done. So we came 6th, but we weren't racing, were we? Stay here. And let's just walk it out. We'll get to 10 kilometres, why not? Actually, let's just run the last 200 metres or so. Didn't see an achievement badge pop up, but I guess maybe you don't get an achievement badge. Or, no, I know what it is. You get it when you log on next time, don't you? So, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get to 10 kilometres, we'll log back out, and log back in again, and see the achievement badge. Just run it to 10 kilometres. But when you log in again, Jonathan, I think you see an achievement. But let's have a test and see if it does it. Now where am I running to? Let's run to 10.2. I'm such a stickler for my points, aren't I? There's my purple marker. Let's get to my purple marker. Only 30 seconds. There it is. There's my finish marker. And we'll get 10 XP points to go 10.25. There we are. Right, that's done. Okay. Right, what we'll do then, I'll log out and log back in. And we'll see if I get a badge. So end run, okay, save and exit. That's a new thing that's coming, by the way. When you finish a run, you will not have to save and exit. You can just save and go back into the game. And at some point, you'll be able to choose a different world. You'll be able to choose a different route on a different world. So it won't be long when the new UI comes out. There will be a whole heap of lovely new extras, but there's no word on when that UI is coming out yet. Right, this computer is very slow, so we might have to wait a couple of minutes. My streaming computer, the one that you can see me on now, that is really super fast, lovely computer. But this computer that runs the Zwift game is horribly slow, horribly slow. So we just have to bear with it. There we are. It's a bit quicker than normal. It's good. Right. Okay. Let's see what happens. And run. This is where it takes forever as well. Why can't it just load really, really smoothly and quickly like it does on the iPhone and the iPad? Come on, come on, come on. Oh. And there you go. You have unlocked the Tour de Zwift 2020 running outfit. You have unlocked the Tour de Zwift 2020 running shoes. You earned these limited edition shoes. So there we are. So those are the little banners that you get. You don't get them at the end of the workout. You get them when you log in the next time. So just be aware of that. And that's it. I am done now. I'm out of here. I am now going to get in the bath, have a quick shave, and get on my way to Bristol, and have a run around Bristol with somebody. Right, take care. Thank you very much for the chat, everybody. It's been most entertaining, as always, and I'll see you, what day is it today? Thursday. We'll do something tomorrow. Ah, a ride-on has popped up.
Ride on!
So when I logged in earlier, there were no ride-ons at all coming up, but now they are. So anyway, thank you very much for all your ride-ons, even though I didn't see them for the whole run. Take care, and we will see you tomorrow. I'm sure we'll do something tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.